part of every cell structure. So in layman terms, you basically need protein to live. What's one of the main things that we always talking about, and you hear health enthusiasts and other people talk about with protein? I got to get my protein. Those guys that's working out, got to get protein. What are they drinking? Protein shakes. They say, well, we got to get a whole bunch of meat because there's a lot of protein in meat. That's a false misconception, of course, because we find out, and I'm a fellow meat eater, but we have to realize that the protein actually comes from vegetables, vegetation. The protein that you get out of the meat, where do they get the protein from? Vegetation. And so we're just getting the byproduct of the protein that they've already ate. But even then, we still get enough to have us moving and taking care of our bodies, unless you're getting the stuff that's got GMO stuff in it. All right. Now, when we were talking about denaturation, a little bit further into that process of denaturation, it happens when the temperature is increased. Heat causes a faster reaction, and a lower heat causes a slower reaction. So think about frogs in a boiling pot of water. Remember, the water isn't starting to boil at first, and their body is able to change with the heat. So as the heat increases slowly, they change their body temperature. But the thing is, they still stay comfortable because they're like, well, you know, no matter how much it starts to heat up, I can just change my body temperature to match it. The next thing you know, the water is boiling, they can't change it. And they can't hop out, because what does it do? It kills them. So they're looking at, well, it's a slower temperature, so my reaction time is slow, and then it's too late. Now, y'all that are growing up in Israelite homes, you know that our parents, they believed in the spirit of ride, spoil a child. So usually they would just tell you, I'm only going to tell you how many times?
One time.
One time. If I got to say something else, I'm already on you when I'm saying it the second time. And usually when we felt that heat of that punishment come, what do? We hurry up and go, I'm moving. I'm going to do it. It's like, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it now. But the thing is what? That heat caused what? A faster reaction time. The hotter the heat was and the faster the heat got on you, the faster you move. You with me? Mm-hmm. Optimal temperature reduces the reaction. So when it gets to a point, just like with those frogs, when it gets to a point that it's as high as it's going to go, there's nothing you can do except what? Die. And so optimal temperature brings what? Death. All right, now the other part of denaturation that I spoke of is a pH change. When your pH is higher or lower than what the protein is used to, it alters or breaks down the structure. So basically, when you look at it from a spiritual aspect, anytime we get outside the pH of Yah in His Word, and we either go lower or we go higher, we try to go higher, what do? We break down our structure because we didn't stay in the balance that He had for us. Is that all right? If it ain't, I don't care. Yes, sir. Y'all know. Y'all know. I'm going to spare y'all with the substrate concentration and the various inhibitors because y'all like, I ain't come for no chemical. See, looking at me right now, looking at the curve. Like, I ain't come for microbiology and chemistry. But you have to get an understanding. Again, Yah uses everything to teach it. He gave me this sermon years ago when I was in chemistry class. So He uses any and everything. And plus, that's how the Hebrew mind works.
Right.
Just to put it in layman's terms for you, take a pot of water. Get some noodles. Y'all know we like to do noodles sometimes. Get that pasta. And what do we usually do? We break it in half, right? Then we put it in the pot of water. Now, some people wait until the water is boiling. Then they put it in. And some people sometimes, like I said last week, like to be on the goofy stuff. Or maybe that's just how they work. They'll put it in there and then turn on the fire and let the water gradually turn the stiffened noodle into, quote unquote, a wet noodle. But the thing is, you see that even when you break the noodles, it still has a structure, right? Right. It's still in this shape. It still has this rigidness. It still has a structure. Even when the water hits it, it doesn't change it yet. But when that heat, that boiling water, increases or goes on, it gets to that boiling point, what happens? It changes the structure. It breaks down that noodle. The noodle that was once stiff and rigid is now what? Loose. Noodly, as we call it. Wobbly, and it'll do anything. You can do any type of shape you want with it because what? The water, the heat concentration has broken that thing down, or better yet, it has done the process of denaturization. when we look at it from the spiritual aspect, especially like I told y'all with some of what I've told you guys before, some of what's coming soon. And remember that he said, yes, while we're being happy about the judgment that's coming upon this country and all across the world for what they've done to us, remember what he said in his word, that he's going to judge his house first before he judges the world. Because how can I whip your bad child and my child is acting a plumb fool and I don't do anything to them? Right. So the thing is, before he whoops the world, and they already getting their hands spanked right now, he's whooping us. So those of us that are not in line, whether it's the people that's on the corner screaming a whole bunch of heretical, blasphemous stuff, whether it's people that are being slick and saying some good stuff but putting poison in it too, whether it's people that just say, I'm a rebel, I don't care, I don't want to believe, whatever your poison is that you're picking, when you're not in line with Yah, the denaturation process or the denaturation is coming to you. To what? To break you down. To turn the heat up on you. What? To make you change your shape. Since you didn't want to be in the characteristic that Yah put for you, you about to change your shape now. Because what? The heat is about to come upon you. Y'all with me? Yeah. The next thing, not only does denaturation come about with just the temperature heat, it also comes with something called autoclaving. And autoclaving is basically pressure and steam. So you put something in one of those, I don't know if y'all ever took chemistry or microbiology, all the different things, but they have this thing, you put stuff in, you want to sterilize tools or whatever, close it, turn it on, the pressure and the steam hitting those utensils sterilizes and kills any bacteria or any organisms that are quote unquote unclean that you don't want on your utensil. It kills it. So again, what does it do? It breaks it down, children. I'm not going to tell you again. Y'all going to start moving because the heat's about to be on. The steam and the pressure sterilizes and kills the organisms with direct steam and direct pressure. So what are you saying again, Moray? The thing is, you look at when we're being tried not just by the fire of Yah, but we're also being tried by him putting pressure on us and putting the steam of his word on us. Those unclean organisms, those bacteria, those things that's on us that have to get taken off of us, he gets that direct steam from the word. He gets that pressure from his word and his judgment that's upon you. His chastisement that's upon you. Remember that he chastises what? The ones he loves. Not the ones that he's going to whoop later. He's like, no, I'm whooping you now because I love you. That also goes back to those that grew up in Israelite houses. When they said, what? I whoop you because what? I love you. I didn't understand at the time. I was like, this ain't love that I'm feeling. I wasn't looking for this. But as time has gone on, and I've matured, and I went through the denaturation process, I realized they did love me. That's why they did this. Because if they didn't love me, if they didn't put the fire on me, they didn't put the pressure on me, they didn't put that steam on me at that time to break me down, to get me to get in the characteristic of shape where I was supposed to be, I would be dead. I would be in somebody's jailhouse for doing things that I shouldn't be doing. So the thing is, I look at the denaturation process hadn't happened to show, again, he loves me. So again, if you've gone through the pressure, you've gone through this thing, y'all know when it's a guy and when it's just a decision you made. You know when he's coming to you and he's punishing you because it feels different from anything else. And y'all saying, you know it's me. You know the process that you're going through right now is me. Yes, you made the decision for some of this. But you're going through, what's the first thing that we talked about? The first thing we're going to talk about the process, right? You're going through the process. Why got to go through the process? Or some people thought it was cute at first till that process got on you. That heat process, or better yet, the denaturation process. Like, oh, I don't like this. Oh, you talk, there's some pressure? Oh, that's some heat? There's some steam? Oh my gosh. Oh, Father, the pH is changing. I'm not balanced. He's breaking me down. You know when y'all breaking you down. And when somebody else is breaking you down, or when you're breaking yourself down. Because again, y'all's pressure is different from anybody else's pressure. Yes. So again, when you think about that, you learn the word today. The denaturation process. And it's happening in the scriptures, the two books that we just read. We're going to get some other scriptures. But when you look at 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, verses 9 through 18. You see the denaturation process happening. Because what are you doing? He's talking about fire, right? Talking about things melting. In verse 10, but the day of Yahweh shall come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall be what? Melt with intense what? Heat. And the earth and the works that are in it shall be burned up. Seeing all these are to be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you be in set-apart behavior and reverence? You know that the denaturation process is coming, so it's saying, what type of person should you be? When he comes, when judgment comes, how should your conduct be? What kind of behavior should you have? Should you have the same attitude like many of us have? Are you going to have a heart of love, or are you going to have a heart of selfishness? A heart for Yah, a heart for bitterness, a heart for yourself? Are you all about getting yours? Or are you going to be about getting his? Again, it's asking you. The question I'm posing to everybody, even myself, how are you going to find you when he comes? Because it's coming. In some places, if you open your eyes now, you see it's already here. There's a lot more people that's going to start dying. Going to start dropping like flies. There's going to be a lot of people that's in leadership. Some because it's time for them to graduate and move on with Yah's glory and get some honor and esteem for what they've done. And then others as judgment. Because they played around with it. They thought it wasn't real. Oh, the fire ain't for me. You know, the denaturation process, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I don't have to worry about changing my shape. And y'all like, put a little bit of that heat on. Put it in the fire. Oh, you don't want to change? Okay. Let me increase the heat. Oh, you want to step outside the pH balance? Okay. Break it down. Oh, you still don't see. Put that saturation and concentration on there real quick. Let them get extra salty. So what? They burst. They break. They shrivel. They lose their function. That's the main thing about this is when you look at the denaturation process, it makes you lose your function. You are no longer functional. What does good or tov in Hebrew mean? Properly functioning. So if good means I'm properly functioning, what does bad mean? That's why it's called what? Dysfunctional. Something dysfunctional is what? Something that ain't working right. So stop looking at your kid and saying you bad, saying like you dysfunctional. And then we said it with our dog. We tried one time like you dysfunctional. He looked like, but he stopped doing what he was doing because he's like, oh, they didn't hit me with something else. And that was the denaturation process, even right there, letting him know that he's dysfunctional. The warning that you better heed this warning. That's why the reason why he gave me this. I told y'all. He changed my message yesterday. This is what he wants everybody to hear. This is our warning. The denaturation process is coming full force real soon. We don't know how much longer we got before you really start seeing. But I told you, when people start dropping like flies, remember this warning. When things start happening to people that you never expected, when you start seeing things and you're going to look at like, how could this be? This is crazy. It just comes out of left field somewhere. Remember this warning. The fire is coming. The fire is coming for all of us. To try us, to test us, to see whether you're young or you're old. Everybody can get it. And everybody's going to get it. Because what? We got to be tried by the fire. Because a lot of us, we lost our characteristic shape by following sin, by following Hasatan or Satan for y'all and King Jimmy, following ourselves, being disobedient, being rebellious. Like I told y'all with the noodle, what was that noodle? The noodle stayed stiff, right? The noodle stayed rigid, but when it got put in that boiling water, what happened? It changed. That's what's getting ready to happen to the house of Israel as a whole, us as a nation as a whole. We're about to go through, y'all. That's why I put it in the prayer before I started. When I was just listening to my Isha, when she was asking Yah during intercession to give us a little bit more time, because there's people that are not ready. If Yah came and judged Israel right now as a nation, we would not be ready. So many people would take the mark. So many people would give up. So many people would curse Yah. So many people would turn their back on Yah because what? They ain't ready for this denaturation process that is coming. This is why he gave us to me. Y'all better heed the warning. We might have another year. We might have 2 years. The question is, you got to get ready. Some of us will be in Goshen. Some of us will see what's happening to the enemy. like our ancestors did. But the rest of y'all gonna get it. Because what? You didn't heed the warning. You didn't listen. He said, I'm doing this to get you back in shape, to get you functioning properly. I got to get the bacteria off of you by putting pressure and hot steam on you. Y'all read it with me? I ain't make this up. He said, well, I'm going to melt you. How would you feel? That would be fighting warriors out in the street. What if somebody walk up on you and be like, man, I'm about to melt you? Say something else. Put that heat on you, right? Say, what do we call our pistols, our pieces, our strap, what we used to call it when I was out there? Call it what? A heater. Man, I'm about to put this heater on them real quick. About to burn them, or we'll call them burners too. And one of my favorites, I used to say, I'm about to wet you up. But I'm going to wet you up with what? Hotness. So the thing is, what did the Father say? I got to speak to you, some of y'all, in street terms. Don't let the smooth tell you fool you. We got to realize that y'all said, I'm about to wet y'all up with this hot water. Y'all about to get to that boiling point because y'all keep on trying me. Before you can go into this new thing, we got to deal with the bacteria. We got to deal with the uncleanliness. We got to deal with the sin. We got to deal with the rebellious. What do you think the wilderness was for? Yeah, he took them out of Egypt, Mitzrayim, but what? Bacteria came with them, didn't they? So there had to be a what? A denaturation process. A 40-year denaturation process, to be exact. Who likes fire? Who likes having fire on them? Who just decides, you know what, I'm going to take my hand and put it in a boiling pot of hot water? Who decides I'm going to take the hottest shower I can to scold myself? Nobody. And they right mind. But yet when it comes to living either for y'all or living for the world, we like, I like hot water. I like the pressure. It sounds cute, right? You sound all strong. Anybody can say what they can take until it comes. And then when it comes, we're going to see just how strong you really are. We're going to see if you really are a punk. Even though I ain't no punk. I ain't afraid of nothing. Whole bunch of dudes telling their wives and telling their girl, I'll die for you. Let somebody pop off some firecrackers, Joker thinking some gunshots, and they ran and left the woman sitting right there. And she looking like, oh, this is what it is? Well, what? That was a denaturation process because he had to see what he was, and she had to see what he was. So she knew. If this Joker going to run off because of a firecracker, he heard some tires and got afraid. He ain't about that life. So I know that if real fire does come, I know what he's going to do. I know what's going to happen to him. So the thing is, you got to realize that the denaturation process does what? It exposes you. It breaks you down. When we look at Ezekiel, the 22nd chapter, verses 17 through 22, again, we see just like in 2 Peter, 3rd chapter, Yah is talking to who? Yisrael, as he lets them know he was beginning to turn the heat on them. Why is he turning the heat on them, Moray? Because of their rigidity, their rigidness. They wanted to be stiff-necked. What was he always calling us? Stiff-necked. And then the other one, he's calling them vipers. And then sometimes he called us vipers. Because what was we were being poisonous. Poisonous in sin and rebellion instead of doing what? Being obedient. So again, he tells us, I'm about to put the heat on you. Because what? You're dysfunctional. He did it to us and those who sin against him. Disobey or rebel. By trying us in what? The fire. We always doing what? He's got to try us by the fire. And then he was talking about the dross. And anybody that knows about precious metals, a silversmith, a goldsmith, whoever is dealing with those metals, and he named the different metals, didn't he? Well, I read it. Gold, silver, tin, lead. And the thing is, it goes through the fire. It has to be melted. And the thing is, all the impurities go to the top. And then the silversmith or the goldsmith, the metal man, what he does is he scoops off the impurities off the top. And what's real, the pure stuff, is at the bottom because what? It's heavy. Like that song, You Love Heavy Love? Yeah. Heavy love is something that's down at the bottom. I ain't got to look at the surface. And that also goes to show y'all ain't about no surfacey stuff, right? Right. Because the surface stuff, you can just scoop off. Just like when he talked about there's people that got immersed or is baptized. Yeah, my dad used to say, now when I baptize you, if your heart rate changed on the inside, And you just went in water. You went in a dirty person, you come out a dirty person that's wet. Yeah, like you went in the devil, you come out a wet devil. Yeah. Because what? It's like this reaches far beyond the surface stuff. You know, everybody, I don't want you to give me no surface love. If you don't like me, then let me know you ain't for me. Don't come and give me that surface stuff, because I got spirit of discernment that works strong within me. If you don't want to be with people that say they love you stuff, don't be there. Right. But don't come around when you get in trouble and be like, oh, okay, now I want love. No. Yes. Try that with Yah. See how many times that work with Yah. He's like, your heart ain't right. You ain't gone through the denaturation process yet. You just saw somebody turn the dial on the stove and you start getting scared. I don't want the heat, no, but you really do want it, because what? You still doing everything it takes to get put in that pot of boiling water. Yisrael, I'm tired of y'all. I got to sterilize you through the heat. I got to break you down with the heat, with the temperature. I'm about to turn it up on you. Why? Because you disobeyed me. You didn't follow my law, statutes, and commandments, and not just reading it and not just saying, well, I'm trying to follow it. Or sticking your finger out at those in organized religion. Other people saying, wait, look, they ain't following this. Like, Negro, you ain't following it either. Mm-hmm. The only difference between you and them is you say that we should still follow it. And they saying we ain't got to do it no more because they don't have an understanding. And I'm glad that y'all gave me that scripture, because y'all read it with me. Matter of fact, let's go to it real quick and then get back into Ezekiel a little bit. Starting at verse 13 in 2 Peter, 3rd chapter. But according to his promise, we wait for a renewed heaven and a renewed earth in which righteousness dwells. So then, beloved ones, looking forward to this, do your utmost to be found by him in peace, spotless and blameless, and reckon the patience of our master as deliverance, as also our beloved brother Shaul. Don't they love to always quote Shaul? Mm-hmm. Even the jokers that don't believe in the renewed covenant side, somehow they always can find a way to speak what Shaul said when they want to get y'all women in line. Better shut up, sisters. Don't y'all say nothing. You're supposed to be quiet in the presence. Don't even breathe too loud, because you wicked. Yeah. I know y'all don't like it, and I really don't care. There's also, verse 16, in all his letters, speaking in them concerning these matters, in which some are hard to understand. No, he didn't say that. Keep up. Don't do that to him. There's also in all his letters, speaking in them concerning these matters, in which some are hard to understand, which those who are untaught, oh, he's talking about him now, and what unstable. What do they do to Shaul's words? I'm glad you said it, Kiefer. They twist to their own destruction, as they do also the other scriptures. So not only are they twisting Shaul's scriptures, which we've seen so many times before, yes. Whether it's organized religion, Shaul said that we are no longer under the law. Just like, who is Shaul following? Right. Who is Shaul an emissary for, an ambassador, or as y'all know him as apostle? Who was he an apostle for? Right. Who the one that met him on the road to Damascus when he thought he was doing the will of Yah? And then Yehoshua had to come down and say, nah, bro, let me change your course. It's denaturation time for you, because you that noodle that want to stay how you want to stay. So how is it the Mashiach said, I did not come to destroy it, but to fulfill it? How's a person that met him and got his life and got his whole existence going to say, well, yeah, after I met him, and I'm saying all this other stuff, but you're under grace now. Right. In Hebrew, we know what grace is. Again. And what does that mean? Protection. It means that I'm protected as long as I stay in the house following what he says. So the thing you have to look at, I get grace when I'm staying in his laws. Yes. You get grace in your parents' house as long as you do what? Follow the laws of the land of that house. Yes. When you don't, what happens? You get kicked out. And then when you're an adult and you ain't gonna follow the rules, what happens? Right. You get kicked out, and they still might bless you with something. They still might put healing hands on you. So again, Kepha, who was one of the 12 handpicked, the Yah picked, the Yehoshua HaMashiach picked when he walked this earth. If he's saying, I'm endorsing this brother Shaul, we know that Shaul is one of us. He's part of our group. Y'all can't understand what he's saying, a lot of you. And it's saying that you are what? Untaught and unstable. That's the ones that's twisting it. Untaught and unstable. Whether you quote unquote woke, knowing that you're an Ibri Hebrew, or whether you're still in organized religion, patting yourself down and kicking your leg up, hooping and hollering a little bit. The fact of the matter is what? When you twist, you're unstable. You that noodle that's in the denaturation process, and what? You're getting real squiggly now. You're getting very squiggly. Because what does that mean? I'm not functioning at all. That's why a lot of people aren't actually getting healed and set free and getting delivered when they go to these different places. Whether you're in organized religion, having church, or whether you're in the temples and the assemblies and congregations, blowing the shofar. But the shofar in your heart ain't been blown to let you know the warning, he's coming. We done got just like them and said, we so used to hearing that he's coming. He's supposed to be coming in 2K. Didn't come in 2K, did he? He's supposed to be coming in 1985 or 86, they said. They always talking about when he's coming. And again, a person that don't read the scripture, he said, and Yahushua HaMashiach, the Son, said this, said, man knows not the day or the hour when I'm coming. He said, I don't even know. Only one to know is Dad. And when Dad say, okay, and people say, well, how can they be one? Again, that shows you that the Trinity thing is a lie. It's the Father. It's the Son, and the Ruach is what? The Father's power. Yes, we can say that, because what did he say? Yahushua HaMashiach said, me and my Father are one, but show me in any scripture where it says anything about the Trinity. That came again from Catholicism or the Christian church to do the whole deity thing. Like I told one of y'all last week, when you go and look at that cross that's on the communion table in organized religion, you're going to see IHS in the little middle. And what does it stand for? Isis, Horus, and Set. Is that saying anything about Elohim? Is that anything about his son? Is that about the Ruach or the power of the Ruach HaKodesh? No. We know who Isis, Horus, and Set is. That's an unholy trinity of the Egyptian fallen ones. But the thing is, people want to stay rigid, just like that noodle. That's why he said, I'm coming. Warn them, Carlton. Fire is coming. He's reached his boiling point with us, watching us do the fool. Acting ignorant, not ignorant, we're going to say ignorant. And he's tired of the indignation that we're showing. Don't sit up here and say that you my child, you're all fringed up in your heart and your mind, all this stuff, and I'm looking, you are not functioning properly. Don't sit up here and talk about how balanced you are and point fingers at everybody else when you stepped out of the pH that I put you in so many times. I want to say, every time you step out of him, you lose your structure. You lose your characteristic that he put in you, and you die. The wages of sin is death means you got out of my pH that I put for you. Your body ain't about that life. Your spirit ain't about that life. A person that's used to the darkness, all the other stuff, yeah, they can survive in that for now. But children of light, you can't do that. That's why when I would go to the clubs, I would go to the house parties, and I posted up on the wall, drinking my libation, doing these other different things. I knew I didn't belong there. And y'all would always send somebody to say, you don't belong here. And you know, all with me cussing them out and getting ready to fight. Like, who you gonna tell me where I belong? I belong wherever I feel I belong. But y'all would always say, and I knew it was from him because the way they would look at me, and it might have been a Malak angel that he was seeing. Because y'all know that they can change shape. The demons can't. They got to get in the body. But you know, the angels, the Malak, they can come down and put a form on. And they would just stand there and they would just look at this piercing stare. And they would keep on looking until I make eye contact with them. Right. And I knew what they was going to do. And I watched like this. Better not walk the wall. Better not say nothing. And they would do the thing I said they better not do. And if it had been anybody else, I would have been in their mouth at that time. But something would always hold me to let me know, you ain't about to do nothing. And I'm glad y'all held me because that angel would have tore me up without touching me. But I even knew that I was outside the pH balance that he had for me. That's why I didn't have no power in there to do what he called for me to do. Only power I had to leave. And then the funny thing is, not too long after they would come and say, you know, you ain't supposed to be here, I cuss him out. Or I would tip it back and drink my 40 ounce or whatever I was drinking at that time just to prove that I belonged there. But then like 2 minutes later, I left. Because I knew. And I was like, I can stay here and get put in the fire, and something can happen to me that didn't have to happen. Or I can heed the warning, because that's what he was doing to me then, and that's what he has me doing to everybody that's hearing this right now, to the sound of my voice. This is your warning. You're not supposed to be in the places that you're at. You're not supposed to be talking to the people that you're talking to. You're not supposed to be dealing with certain people that you're dealing with. This is your warning this evening, on this Shabbat evening. Get out. Just like that movie. Get out. Because what comes next? Stay there if you want to. Go ahead. Go ahead and stay in that lifestyle. Stay in somebody else's bed you know you don't belong in there. Keep on going and getting drunk. Keep on entertaining relationships that you don't need to have. Keep on saying the things that you shouldn't be saying. Keep on acting like, it's you, boo. Live your life how you want to. Do everything that you want to do. Go ahead. It's your world. And watch what happens when the fire comes. Don't come crying. Don't be just like them people during the flood. Didn't want to hear nobody. Didn't want to listen to the one all of a sudden. Hey, dog, let me in. It's raining. The rain is up to my ankles. It's up to my waist. I'm drowning. Let me in. Like, I can't hear you. Because you didn't hear me. Hear, oh, Yisrael. This is for all my people tonight. Those that's grafted in, you're part of Israel. This is for you too. But the thing is, he comes to judge his house. If you don't hear nothing else, even if some things seem comical to you, you better get what he's saying to you. Hear, O Israel, tonight, the denaturation process has already started. Quietly, you didn't know it. Some of you heeded the warning when you started seeing things that were happening in your life, and you're like, hold on, let me cling to him. Because he said if I abide in him, he abide in me, then I can ask what I will. So let me ask for more time. Let me ask for forgiveness. Let me be repentant. Let me start living the way he wants me to live. And then other people, they just kept on sleeping in the pot like them frogs. Because it was slow heat. Slow and low. They was getting slow cooked. And didn't know it. And just like them frogs, a lot of y'all, a lot of our people are going to die because they're going to wait until it's too late and you ain't going to be able to jump out the pot then.
Right.
It's too late because what? I'm comfortable. Or I've always been, we just like Samson, Shimshon. We sit up there like, I can just shake myself out of everything because I always do it. Get myself in something and I just shake myself. And you realize that your strength is gone and you don't know it till you shake yourself and nothing happens.
Sorry.
Denaturation. That was a denaturation process for him. Because he was so busy cutting up that he got his hair cut up. He was too busy being blind when Yah told him what to do. So that's what they do. When they called him, what they do? First thing they did to him was did what? Took his eyes out. They did a physical manifestation of what he did spiritually. He became spiritually blind. So they said, come on, bro, we're going to help you all the way. You didn't want to heed the warning, so we're going to help you all the way. The government's already getting planned for us. Y'all better wake up. The world is getting planned. Don't you see prophecy being fulfilled? He's giving us a warning. Y'all about to go through the fire. Y'all about to get up through. Everybody talking about Goshen, and a lot of y'all ain't going. Y'all's Goshen is going to be a FEMA camp. We're weeping and gnashing of teeth. Y'all's Goshen is going to get your heads chopped up with them 30-something thousand guillotines that the government purchased back, I believe it was in between 2011 and 2013. But ain't nobody know about that, huh? The Prince Alfred plan is still in effect. That's why they keep on doing stuff to get y'all Negroes to start rioting so they can do what? Bring martial law. Warning!
Yeah.
Prince Alfred plan again says that when that happens, them jokers and Israelites start acting up, we can take 20 million of them and incarcerate them. That's what the FEMA camps is for. Yes, they'll put other people in it too, but it's for Yah's children because they are getting ready. I told y'all a few sermons ago, 2019, they already got space soldiers. Got that little space laser beam and stuff like that ready and pointing. Who they pointing at? Who they ready for? Who they think they're going to shoot with that? How you going, a person that's the word known as Yehoshua HaMashiach, how you going to kill him with a laser beam? What, you thought because a stake with a cross beam and some nails and shaking him in his side didn't do it? Y'all should have learned from that. He woke up from that. He walking around and still showing y'all, look, I got the scars, y'all, but I'm still alive. Y'all couldn't kill me.
Absolutely.
You show Thomas like, let my enemy know this. Look at it.
Yes.
Because you don't believe, look at it. And I'm still so fresh and clean. Y'all better heed the warning. Tonight, the fire is coming. The heat is coming. The breakdown is already upon us. Haven't you already started seeing some of our people broke down? And you thought we was broke down enough already, but this is what sin will do to you. It will break you all the way down.
So
to where you only have one or two choices.
Yep.
Either I'm going to look up to him,
yes,
look to the hills from whence comes my help, or I'm going to stay down here and just be even worse. I want to. You said it, prideful. I'm just going to be broke. Ain't nobody going to break me. It's like, people, you already broke. How much more broke? The only other brokenness you can get is disintegration. Only thing left for you is powder. What do you think happens to stuff that goes in the fire? When you keep that grill on and keep the thing in there long enough, what's going to happen? It's going to disintegrate. It's going to be what? Dust. Who wants to be dust? He already said, from the dust you came, the dust you're going to return, from the earth you came. But I ain't trying to be dusty all my life.
Right. Right.
Walking around with a dusty spirit. I mean, when I preach dusty shoes, what are we doing? Kicking up dust all the time with a dusty heart, dusty spirit. And the warning is for you. Remember we used to say, organized religion, get right, and let's go home. But a lot of y'all's home is going to be them FEMA death camps. A lot of y'all's home is going to be burning in eternal hell. And I ain't saying this to myself. I'm saying this because y'all said it. You think it's funny now, but burn. You can't take heat. You can only take so much heat. Look, we get upset with the sun ain't even all the way close to us. And when it's summer and you feel that heat is like 80 plus degrees, some people are like, oh, it's so hot. I don't know what to do. You want to take clothes off. You can't take nothing off in hell. You can't take your skin off in hell. You can't take nothing off in. Ain't nothing you can take off in hell gonna help you get cool.
Right.
You can have the best AC system down in hell. That'll burn up too. Because what? You didn't want to go through the denaturation process. A lot of us think it's for everybody else. It ain't for me. A lot of us in leadership. How do you feel? You teaching other people, helping other people to get into the kingdom, and you miss it. You helping everybody else get out of that boiling point. You helping everybody else to realize that Yah is breaking you down for a reason. He wants you to be better than what you are. You're not properly functioning. Get it right, brother. Get it right, sister. And then you down there burning and screaming. There's been accounts of people that Yah has taken them down there to see what it was like. And they said what you was doing up here and stuff. There's people that was quote unquote preachers down there preaching and can't get saved. Can't save nobody else. People evangelizing up here didn't do right. Evangelizing down there can't get saved. It ain't doing nothing for nobody. And Yah's allowing that. Because what? We didn't do what he said. We didn't listen to him. We didn't what? Want to go through the denaturation process again. There's some of y'all that's going to play this off. There's some of y'all that's going to say, well, the warning ain't for me. You said what? I don't understand. Excuse me, y'all. Children. Do I need to split you up? The denaturation process is going to happen to y'all too. The reason we are broken down or out of character or structure or unraveled, etc. is because we have gone through Yah's denaturation process as his people. Even the grafted people are going to experience this as well if they're with us. Because again, Yah has to break us down and get us on beat with him and get us in tune with him before we can move. Again, what was the whole purpose of the wilderness? Because Yah could have took our people right into Canaan land. But he knew that there was a process that needed to happen because there was people that were still stiff-necked. There's people that were still rigid. There are people that still were unclean. There are people that didn't have the pure of heart. And so what did he do? He said, I'm about to take you through a process. The heat or fire and the cloud have always been something with Yisrael as a nation, as our people. When Yisrael left Mitzrayim, what led us and what followed us? There was two pillars. One of the cloud of smoke, and then there was one a pillar of fire. We're talking about the denaturation, right? So the cloud of smoke, steam, gives moist heat, right? And that's part of the denaturation process. And then again, we talked about fire. Fire also does what? Gives the denaturation process because it breaks things up. It makes it where it can't function no more. It makes it change its characteristic shape. So when you think about that, Yah was doing the denaturation process with us even then because what? The pressure of being between those two things, the fire, the pillar of fire, and the pillar of smoke was what? Putting pressure on us. Didn't he also use that against our enemies? The Mizrahites or the Egyptians that you know? Remember they came chasing after him? It was like, man, they done spoiled us. And the people that basically did everything for us is gone. What are we going to do? The same thing is going to happen to this second Mitzrayim or Egypt that we in. Scripture already said this ain't going to be here no more. And the funny thing is, everybody, all these jokers is fighting for something that ain't going to be here much longer. Once we leave. What does Scripture say? It's going to be like a millstone put around his neck. It's going to be thrown into the sea, and it will no longer be. So you can cry for it. You can wave the flag for it. You can put your hand over your heart all you want to, but it ain't going to be here. Right. When that denaturation process comes for it, after we've gotten what we've gotten, and we see what happens. So everybody's going to get it. I told y'all in the beginning of this. Everybody can get it. Everybody going to get it. That's what I used to say in the streets, and that's what he's saying to us. Because, you know, sometimes we got to be talked to like that. Because we act like that. We want to act hood. We want to act crazy. We want to act belligerent. So y'all was like, you know what? I'm not belligerent. I'm not hood, but I'm going to show you what hood would really be. I'm about to put these hands on you without touching you. And you're going to feel me is what he's saying. Y'all better heed the warning. The denaturation process, again, I told you, it's already started. And it's going to start to intensify. You better start knowing who's who. You better start knowing whose you are. Because we are going through the fire. And even with that pillar of smoke and that fire, even with the denaturation process, what was he still letting them know? I am with you. I am in your midst. Y'all remember when we just finished the book of Shemot, Exodus, for our Torah study? Mm-hmm. That was one of the things. Remember when he took himself away from he got out their midst after the golden calf experience? Because they was on that mess? And what did he say? I'm not going to be in their midst because if I get in them, I'm going to consume them. The denaturation process is going down right then and there, and ain't nobody going to survive it but you, Moshe. Not even your brother that went up there and give me your earrings, y'all. I'll make you a golden calf. This will be your Elohim. And then the man had the nerve to lie when Moshe came down and broke them tablets and got upset. What did you say? Well, I told him to give me the golden earrings and stuff like that, and I put it in the fire, and the calf just jumped out. I'm like, are you serious? And I laughed again when I read that. He said, basically, I didn't do nothing. Mm-hmm. You know how we get, I don't know why they're mad. I don't know why y'all's angry with me. All I did was, and once you start saying all I did, that let you know. You lying. You wrong. You know you're wrong. All I did was this. All I did was rob you of relationship with me, y'all. All I did was rob you of your praise and your glory and your honor. All I did was be disrespectful to you. I don't know why you're whooping me this way. I don't know why I'm going through the fire. Why am I losing my job? Why am I losing my health? Why am I losing people that I love? Why am I losing all the different things that I have? All I did was just do this little sin. Because what? We always want to make it less than what it really is. There's somebody burning in hell right now realizing, again, I didn't know that by fornicating, that's not a sin that should be until death. Walking around with a mean spirit, I shouldn't go to hell for that. Because I want to follow everything other than Yah. He should just, because what do they tell you in organized religion? By twisting it. Twisting the scripture showing that they unstable and unlearned. Yah's love. Yeah, we know he loves. But Yah also get with you too.
Yes, he does.
Yah will get in your stuff. They act like Yah changed from the original covenant side, and that he's a totally different Yah on the renewed covenant side. And what do y'all say? I changed not. I'm being a little bit more lenient. I'm allowing y'all a chance to repent and still experience my grace. But what does Shaul say? Should we continue in sin? That grace or protection may abound? And like you said, what do you say? Y'all forbid. And so the thing is, we have to look at, why is he warning us? So we can continue to do what we want to do? Climb a fool's hill and slide down and keep on doing it? Oh, he loved me. He'll give me another chance. Somebody didn't wake up this morning. They kept on playing with him. Somebody's probably not going to see the midnight tonight because they kept on playing with him. Somebody's in the process of losing everything that they had. And that goes for children too. Yeah, y'all. Somebody think that they ain't going to lose nothing. You think that you can just keep on acting how you want to act. You so cute. You so smart. You so this. You so that. And you ain't going to get got. And that's how I said get got. I didn't use the common vernacular this time. He said it. You think he ain't about to put them hands on you? You continue to try him. He's in your midst with a cloud and a fire. And you still try him. How do we know that he's even still in the midst of Israel? Because what? In the temple we had what? The tabernacle, it had the altar of incense. And it also had the altar of sacrifice. And what did the altar of incense do? It had a mist, right? There was a fire that was kindled and it had a mist. And that was to represent what? His spirit in the midst of them. Also, when you sacrifice something, what happens to it? It has to go through what? The fire. When you put it on the fire, what do you think that is? A denaturation process. Because what does it do? It changes the characteristic shape. What does it do? It breaks it down. It changes it. What happens? That thing that was put on that altar, that sacrifice, it can no longer function the way it was functioning before it got in that fire. And what Yah is saying in the positive aspect of that, because again, what do you tell us to do? Present our bodies a what? Living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto him, which is our job. Or King Jimmy say reasonable service. But what is that saying? I need to get you on the fire so that what? I can denaturate you. I can change you. I can make you stop functioning in the wrong way so that you can start to function the correct way. But again, what do? I'm supposed to be a temple for Yah. Yah's supposed to be dwelling in me. But I don't want to function the way that he called me to function. I don't do what he wanted me to do. And to look at some of the scriptures where it's talking about the cloud of fire and the pillar of fire, or the cloud, the pillar of the smoke, and the pillar of fire. Write these down. Exodus chapter 13, verses 21 through 22. Exodus 14, 19, and verse 24. Exodus chapter 24, verses 16 and 19. And of course, read the whole chapter of these verses I'm giving you. Don't soundbite it. Exodus 33. Verse 9 through 10. Then go to chapter 34, verse 5. And then lastly in the book of Exodus to look at for this is chapter 40, verses 34 through 38. Because y'all know I still got to give y'all scripture for that. And while y'all writing it down, let's get some Hebrew words because y'all thought y'all was getting out of that. Anan, spelled A-N-A-N, Anan. Strong's number for my members that want that Strong's number, 6051. Strong, 6051. It means cloud. Cloud mass, heavy mist. So when you think about that heavy mist, think about that heat and the denaturation process. Next word is Aish, spelled E-S-H. Aish. Strong's number is 784. That means fire. Blazing, burned. Flame, flashing. It also means men or man, and it means hot. Aish. Next word is Chori, C-H-O-R-I, 2750 in strong. That means hot, fierce, burning, outburst. And that also means heat. So when we're talking about the denaturation process, you got those words, think about that. Again, that's the Hebrew word. We got to be learning more about our people, right? We're almost there. It's taking me a little bit longer. Every time, again, like I said before, there's a sacrifice, what was always present? Fire and a cloud or a mist of smoke. Again, the sacrifices, the whole composition was changed. And Yah said, I'm going to use the fire to change you. The question is it going to be for your good? Or is it going to be for your end? Because I said, all of us have to go through the fire. I've gone through it. I'm going through it again. Because remember I told y'all, it hasn't stopped. That's going to be the prophecy for us probably until Shemayim come. Is this season is what? Pruning and purging season. And pruning and purging means what? Taking stuff off, cutting stuff off. Now, in the good, that means I got to get the good fruit off so that I can grow more good fruit. I got to get things off of me that's keeping me from moving in the direction that Yah wants me. And then for others, that means that you actually getting cut out and taken off, which means that you're not going to be in the Lamb's Book of Life. That means you're not going to be in Goshen. That means that you're not going to be in Shemayim. That means you're not going to be in the midst of Yah forever. Why would you live your life suffering? I'm talking to the Israelites right now because ain't nobody suffering the way we have. I don't care what y'all say. We got the scripture, we got history to prove what I say. Why would you suffer so much, all the captivity, all the things that we deal with in this earth? No matter where we at, we have no rest. Because the scripture said that was one of our curses. And you go through all of that, still being stubborn, pig-headed, stiff-necked, disobedient, only to end up of all places, Sheol or hell. And then that ain't the end game, because what next? Hell gets thrown what? Into a lake of fire. So not only am I going to be in hell, but now me and hell is being thrown into a lake of fire, which means there's something even worse than hell. And then the thing is, you know what makes it even worse? Is Yah is not going to hear you. You'll be crying, screaming, and everything, and Yah is going to cut it off. He's going to mute you to where he don't hear you. He's going to put you somewhere where he will never know you or think about you or hear you ever again. And he's Yah, but he's like, I'm going to shut myself off from hearing him. Again, why would you suffer, Israelite? All your life. Even the ones that's good, the house Israelites, you're going to call them. They still suffer. They still realizing that at some point they realize, hey, in their eyes, you still a nigga. In their eyes, you still 3/5 of a man or a woman. In their eyes, you're still nothing. And they know who you are. But they're rejoicing at the fact that, like, these jokers was ruling everything. They got disobedient. Now we over them. We go to the street and do all types of things to them because we know eventually this is going back and they're going to get back in that seat. They're going to be ruling again. But let's have fun with them while we can. Let's get them so debased that their Heavenly Father don't come back for them. That He hates them so much. Let's listen to the enemy because the enemy is still trying to exterminate all of them. Because he knows that if they are exterminated, then Yah, what Yah said is going to be a lie. But what Yah, we always told it. This is what it say. Let Yah be true. And every man what? Including them daggone demons. Yes. Even the ones that's in the fringes. The 2 sticks it represents the house of Israel, 2 sticks in Ezekiel chapter 37. Now, I remember that when it's talking about bringing us back together. The dry bones, I talked about that. I preached about that a while back, sometime last year. And y'all remember, it talked about 2 sticks. Now, y'all remember, let me get my shepherd staff real quick. And let me get this other stick. Notice they still got the same shape. And what did he say? I'm going to, he told the prophet Ezekiel to get them and put them what? Together. So the thing is, they still had the outward appearance of Israel. They still looked like Israel. They even spoke to things like Israel, even in their disobedience. But the denaturation process that he was looking for was what? On the inward part. I need to put you through the fire so that your insides change. It wasn't about our outside changing in that way. It was about the inside, because when your inside is fully changed, then what is it going to do? It's going to permeate and go to what? The outside. So if I have love in my heart on the inside, it's going to show because the inside changes my outside appearance. So not only am I going to look or have the appearance of a Israelite, but people will actually be able to look at me and be like, that's Israel right there. Because I will be showing Yah. Who did he say did he know? Only who have I known? Only who have I dealt with like this? I've dealt with no other nation but you. You my babe. You the one I love. You ain't no side piece. You the real thing. You the only one for me. But he said, well, I got to change your heart. You got to go through the fire. So what? You'll cry out for me again. No, most of y'all don't pray until what? The fire get to you. Oh, I almost lost my life today. Oh, Father, thank you. Help me. I'm afraid. I got a pink slip at work. What am I going to do? How am I going to eat? I gotta get another place to stay. Or the doctor told me that this bad thing is happening and I only have X amount of time to live. I've seen people get kidney transplants, or liver transplants, excuse me, and then right after they got another liver, got another lease on life, they start drinking themselves again. Like, I got a new liver, so I ain't changing my habit. I got something new in me, but I didn't change my habit. I'm about to kill this thing too. I got a 20-something-year-old liver. Let me see what that's about. And then y'all was like, you had a chance. I warned you that. Because what? They refused. They refused to stop being stiff and stop being rigid. They said, I'm going to act even more before now. Yeah. A new lease on life means just that. Take it and live. Yeah. But we don't want to heed the warning. It's standing right in front of you. Look at the signs of the times. I posted it earlier in the book today. You say you can tell that it's about to rain, or you can tell all these other different things by looking at the clouds and looking at how the wind blows, but you dummies don't even understand the signs that's coming. You don't understand what's going on the time that you're in right now, but you know everything else. You know, we always see in prosperity, money coming to me now. Yes. Speak it into being. See it, say it. I say it because I see it. All these different things, and y'all was like, oh, silly Hebrew. I ain't in none of that. Are we prophesy, even with us being quote-unquote awakened, knowing who we are, out there hollering at everybody who's going to be slaves and who's going to die and all these other different things, and like, again, you don't understand the prophecy. And while you're prophesying their damnation, you don't realize you're prophesying yours as well. Because I got prophecies in there for you too. Based on how you're living and what you're doing. Come on now. You can prophesy in somebody else's life, but you can't even see in your own. Denaturation. What he said, let the blind do what? Lead the blind, right? Is it good to you? Is it good to you? How long do you think you can take the heat, people? Yes, right. Again, I'm talking to y'all, but everybody else can get this too. How long do you think you can take the heat? How long do you think that you can go higher or lower outside of the pH that Yah has for you? How long can you take the saturation or salt concentration? As I read, it said the day of Yah is coming to you. It's coming to me. Do I need to read it again? Verse 10. But the day of Yahuwah shall come as a thief in the night. I ain't going to know when. I ain't going to know where. But it's coming. Come on, Ezekiel. What do you have to say about this? The day of Yah again. On that day, I'm going to melt it all. On that day, I'm going to burn it all. On that day, you about to see. Are you really on Yah's side? Because a lot of us, we ain't going through nothing right now. We got brothers and sisters dying because they profess Yah, Yehoshua as their Savior and their Mashiach. You even got people that don't really even truly know Him. That's the Gentile converts that's going and being missionaries in other different places. Them jokers getting killed for your Elohim, for your Savior. The one that said, I know you. I don't know them. I don't know them like that. Now, the ones that get grafted in, I adopt them, but you are my firstborn. On the earth, as far as humans, we already know who the Mashiach is. But he said, you, and you ain't even getting it. You won't even die. You won't even speak my name to your family. We're afraid of the fire that we got to deal with our family. And anybody that know about this walk, especially when we really started walking in who we were, people started on both sides of our family started looking at us like we was crazy. They started, oh, they probably in a cult. And so they could feel better about what we were doing. They told themselves, oh, as long as you still know Jesus, as long as you still believe in the Christ, because they were so lyrical. Like, if I'm quoting the scripture and I'm cutting it straight, right, I'm laying that spread down for you. Right. And I ain't saying nothing crazy or nothing off kilter other than the fact that you don't realize that the Mashiach look like us. Mm-hmm. You don't realize that we actually are Israel. Nobody else fit that but us. And the imposters know it. That's why they try to find ways to put themselves in it still. And then the other Gentiles try to still find ways. You didn't want to be Israel till we woke up. But the thing is what they say. Well, as long as you know Jesus, no matter what name you call on, it's like, I'm actually calling his real name. Yeah. It ain't no different. Kunta was still wanting to go by what? Kunta, right? Mm-hmm. He fought hard. Yes. When they kept on telling him Toby, he's like, I'm beating the stuffing out of him. But he's like, my name ain't Toby. I don't know the answer to that. That ain't what I was born. That ain't who I was called. That's not what I know myself as. But Israel decided we're going to say Toby now. Mm. We're going to say John. We're going to say Rupert. We're going to say William. We're going to say all these other different things. Because what? You couldn't take the heat. We want to stay there. We want to stay in that pot. But y'all, I'm about to turn it up. The things that you trusted in. Come on, EBT. Oh, yeah. People started getting a little afraid when he started talking about that box, didn't they? Come on, stock market. Yeah. Come on, TV shows, entertainment that you used to use to lull you to sleep so you didn't have to keep your eyes open and see what was happening and the judgment was coming. Black Panther ain't coming to save you. I don't care how many times you watch it, you can see a lot of stuff in there. He ain't coming to save you. You want to know what the real Wakanda is? Israel. That's the city that's on the hill. Jerusalem. Our home. That's the real Wakanda. You know what vibranium really is? Melanin. That's the strongest thing. And what does it do? It strengthens your bones. Melanin is in our organs. That's why our organs go for a high price. That's why the people that hate you got your organs in them, for the people that got kidnapped and killed. With the whole organ trade. The whole organ trade isn't even about you. Because your organs are the strongest organs. And no, it ain't even the Hamites, it's Israelite organs. Because they ain't trying to steal the Hamites and kidnap them and do organ harvesting. Them jokers is a part of it too. It's you. You walking around with vibranium and don't know it. Your melanin. Why do you think they hate you? Because of your vibranium, i.e. melanin. What do they want to take from you? Your melanin. But they need you to be gone in order to enjoy it. Because when the real person is there, it's like, it's always going to show the false person. No matter how many times that European woman that got them shots to get dark, she still ain't going to look like you ladies. Absolutely not. No matter how many surgeries she have, she still cannot what? Be you. Because she didn't go through the denaturation process to get there. We went through something to get what we got. Even those of us that squandered it. Look at what our ancestors went through. And look at what the young people are doing now. Look at what those of us that are supposed to teach them. Look at what we're teaching them. Where are we? We in an alleyway with a bottle, with a thing stuck in our veins. We're in a Howard Johnson fornicating, hoeing ourselves out. Sniffing stuff. Forgetting who we are. Saying, you know what? I don't want to be like Mashiach no more. I want to be like the world because it's easier. The fire ain't as hot when I just conform. And he said, be not conformed to this world, but be what? Transformed by what? The renewing of your mind. Why? Because the characteristic of your mind changed because you went through that heat and said, oh, I understand now. You know, I told my mom and my dad I understood till that belt came. Or till that extension cord came. And they're like, oh, I understand now. I know it's real. I know you ain't playing with me now, but it took the heat. And that's how I worked a lot of times. Like, I wouldn't move. I knew I needed to move. I'm telling myself, me and my wife got into it a lot of times, and I'm married to it sometimes, like, because I wouldn't move until what? I got something lit under me. When I got the fire lit under me, then I was like, oh, something will rise up. And I'm like, hold on. Oh, you done ran up on the right kind of dude. And it's a shame that it took that some time, but y'all was like, you know, that would be a warning to me to let me know, you better wake up. You better start doing something, because when it's too late, don't wait until then. I told y'all about the trash can wars me and my mama used to always have. I would wait until it was too late, and sometimes I would be overcome with what I was doing that she would creep up on me, and all of a sudden I would have heard, oh, mom's about to be here, and I'm opening up the door and she's standing right there. Don't worry about it, brother. It's all right now. No, mom, I got it in my hand. I can just take it. Don't worry about it now. And that's what Yah's saying to all of us that won't heed his instructions. He's going to say, don't worry about it now. Oh, I'm ready to go into Goshen now. No, don't. FEMA camp. Oh, I'm ready to start gardening and doing all those other different things. No. Famine. You're going to eat what everybody else in the world is eating, dust. Eat my judgment. You didn't want to sup in my love, so eat my judgment. Eat it. And the funny thing is, the people, us that will be in the wilderness so they can cut the rebels off, he's going to get the rebels off like he did the first time with our people, we going to have manna. And other people, the thing is, just realize that our people were in the wilderness and they still didn't go hungry. Look at Yah. But the rest of the world is going to be starving Marvin. The rest of the world is going to be experiencing a famine that they still lying to y'all about and ain't telling y'all is already going on now. Come on, California. Why do y'all think all these fires is happening? Because it's heating up. Why y'all think all these different things is happening to mess up the food source? Because it's heating up. Why y'all think all these different bacteria and stuff is killing folks? How are you 4,000 people dying after they got the flu vaccine when it's saying, oh, this is supposed to save you? You know why? Because only Yehoshua saves. Not what man does. Man is still trying to find ways to keep from getting in the pot. And y'all was like, you was in the pot before you knew it. I'm turning up the heat on you. Yisrael, please listen to me this evening. You might not get another chance to hear this. You might not get another chance to change. If you don't change in your heart now, if you don't get your life right now, you better see the denaturation process for what it is for you if you accept him changing you. I would rather get boiled and burned with that stuff out of me and still make it in than to burn all eternity in hell. And you thought this was hell on earth for us. Just think what real hell is. What does the Messiah say in the scripture? If your eye sins against Yah, do what with it? Pluck it out. It's better to go in with one eye than to be intact and burning in hell. If you got to cut your hand or you got to, whatever you got to take off of you just so you can be in his presence and live, let it go. For some people, their eye that's offending Yah is that man or that woman that they know they shouldn't have, that they shouldn't be with. For some people, their arm that they're holding on to is that car or that house or that job that's taking them away from Yah. Yah is offended by the love that we want to give him, which is some false love. We don't want to give him no heavy love. And that's why he said, I'm about to put you in the fire. I want the precious metal. Now you sit up there talking about how your melanin or y'all know is really is vibranium. If we were to go into that level, we saw, oh, my melanin is popping. It's like, but your life ain't. Your spirit ain't. You can look good going to hell. You can be Yisrael all you want to. I'm Yisrael till I die in hell. Fringes burn too. The garments that we wear, they burn too. The locks we wear, they burn too. The beards we got, they burn too. Denaturation. We need to respect the process. I'm going to give you all these scriptures and then we're going to let it go. Write them down. Deuteronomy 29, verses 24 through 29. Devarim 29, verses 24 through 29. And that is in regards to Israel receiving the curse that he gave us in chapter 28. Now, all y'all know about chapter 28, right? Yeah. The blessings and the curse. And here again, in the chapter after that, he's telling them that they're receiving this curse and that all nations, which we know as Gentiles, will wonder why the heat of Yah's anger is so great, not only on our homeland, but on us. Read it, they said, why is he so angry? Why is his wrath so hot against them? And you will see it's because what? We disobeyed him. We followed other mighty ones. We didn't do what he said. We were rebellious. We was always stiff. We was doing all the things that basically we do today. To why the fire is coming again upon us. And so they look at it. They look like, even the people that hate you, they still look like, why they got it so bad? Even them poor dusty Wonder Breads are still looking like, man, what did they do? Everybody looking at this, what did they do? Yeah, we still hate them too, but what is it? They even start saying that Yah hates us. He just hates y'all, y'all the fallen angels. They came with all these other different myths and stuff like that because it's like there's something about what's happening to you that's different from everybody else. But you don't hear me. Matthew, chapter 20, verse 12. And that's talking about those working in the heat of the day. They were upset. We're talking about that parable of the guys that worked from the heat of the day. Then some guys came in late and started working, and the owner gave everybody the same pay. And what they do, they got hot. I've been here in the heat of the day dealing with all this, and you want to let this joker come in, and he was like the last 30 minutes, and he still get paid the same as I do? And what did the master say? Is this not my stuff? He said, well, my dad always said, man can do what he wants with his own. You signed up to work for this amount. I did a different deal with them. Don't worry about what I'm doing. But what do? They allow the heat to do the denaturation process within them to where it changed them for the worse. They got heated because they felt that they should control. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of us. A lot of us Israelites, we have been in this walk for years, and then somebody that's just waking up and learning, they're going to get the reward just like you. Are you going to get upset and be like, well, they don't deserve to have the same reward as I do because I've been here for X amount. One of the things we always do is we ageist in a different way. Look at somebody, well, I'm X amount of years old, so I know more than you, I'm better than you. I was like, there's people that I ran circles around. Be like Shaul real quick. If I must boast, I'm going to boast in Yah that I ran circles around with knowledge. The thing is, they look at you, and what did Shaul tell Timothy, his apostle in training? Don't despise. Yo, you. Look again, the prophet Shemuel, or Samuel, as you know. He had more than Eli, the high priest who was supposed to teach him. Y'all dealt with him instead of the other dude, because what? The dude got blind. No matter how old you get, if you ain't still in Yah's word, if you ain't allowed the denaturation process to happen to you, you're going to lose it all too. All right, Acts 28:3. We only got one more after that. Acts 28:3. And this is dealing with when Shaul got shipwrecked on his way to Malta. He put some wood in this fire to kindle the fire to keep it hot. Then what comes out? A snake come out the fire. Snake bit Shaul. Yes, it did. And what did Shaul? Shaul just picked it up, threw it in the fire, and sat down and started chilling. And the people that was with him, they was like, oh, this snake came out. This is an omen. He did something wrong, so this is just recompense. And then they looking at Shaul like, he ain't puffing up. He ain't coughing up nothing. There ain't no poison. Like, he's just sitting here and everything is cool. And then when they realized that he was all right, then they took back what they said. And the thing is what? When you look at that, the heat brought the snake out. The heat brought it out, and then Shaul put his kindling on the heat to keep the fire burning. And that showed us that there's enemies, there are snakes. There's Nahashes that when the fire is there, they wait until you try to keep the fire hot and keep the fire going. Then what will they do? They will come out and bite you. Yeah. Thinking that they're going to poison you, but what man meant for evil, Y'all meant for what? For good. The very thing that they thought would poison you. Just like what I told y'all, the prophecy that I got from when I got stung by that bee. And it showed that somebody was going to try to attack my authority because they got my right hand. And the right hand means authority and power. That somebody was coming for that and was going to attack it. But the thing is, it didn't do anything to me. It didn't do what it meant to do. And that happened when I was doing what? I was doing my job. So it caught me when I was doing my job. That snake caught him when he was doing his job to keep what? The fire burning. So you keep that fire burning. You keep that kindling. Let that snake come out so you can throw it in the fire. It was hiding and you think you came out the fire. But you got to go back in. And this time you ain't coming out. Right. And then the people will be astonished. Look at us. We're like Shaul was a nation. We're around that fire, right? We're starting to wake up. Snakes is coming from everywhere. Even Hebrew snakes. Looking to bite at you. Look at them. They just like the Christians. They ain't changed. They still an organized religion. Right. Are they doing this? They doing that. They don't know. Ain't nobody speaking Hebrew. Like you speak Hebrew fluently first. Not that other mess. You actually learn how to conduct yourself the Israelite way that Yah called for us to. Then say something. Until then, shut up. Shut up. All the way up. Or get shut up. And I ain't got to put my hands on you. Y'all knows I want to. The old me does, but he does it now. But the thing is, just like Shaul put that snake back in that fire, that's what will happen to you. Keep playing with it. Don't heed the warning. Last scripture, then I'm going to let it go because I'm starting to get really fired up now. Whew. Calm down. Last release. 1 Corinthians, then I got to let it go because I'm really going to start going there. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 9 through 16. 1 Corinthians 3, that warrior's coming out. Whew. 1 Corinthians 3, 9 through 16. And that's talking about anyone building on the foundation of Yahushua HaMashiach, because he has to be the foundation, will have their work made clear and revealed on the day of Yah by what? Fire. And that those who work, and whose work endures the fire, they will receive rewards. And those whose work burns up, they'll suffer loss, but they'll still be what? Saved. Because what do you say? Again, I'm coming to judge you. I'm coming to judge you. You say you know you Israelite, you know you Hebrew. Show me with your works. You say that you know the law, statutes, and commandments. You say line upon line, precept upon precept. Well, show me that. Show me what you got. And let me put the fire on. Let me put it in that pot. And let's see what we get. Am I going to have something that I'm going to feel is worth something? Will I be able to scrape all the dross off and dip my hand in there and get some heavy love? Or will it just be all dross? Will it just be all impurities and nothing solid? Who want to go to the kingdom? I do. Who want to go into the kingdom and be poor? I don't. I want everything that Yah has for me. I want every reward that I was supposed to get. I want it. I want that. I need that. Are you feeling me? Yeah. I hope you're feeling me because I'm feeling Yah. Yeah. The thing is, do you want to suffer? Only to suffer some more. The denaturation process, again, I told y'all, is coming. The denaturation process is here. Don't let it find you with your work undone. Don't let it find you still choosing to be stiff-necked. Don't let it find you still choosing to be rebellious, because you're going to burn. But how you come out of it depicts where you're going to go. The denaturation process. Shalom.